So we're celebrating our 10-year wedding anniversary this year, and we were asked, how do you build a powerful relationship with your partner?
We're celebrating our 10-year anniversary this year, and despite all of the lovely messages that we get with like hashtag power couple or hashtag relationship goals or whatever, or family goals, I think the biggest thing to actually acknowledge is there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. And I hope you don't mind me saying that.
Well, it takes two, but you know.
But like a perfect relationship, just in my view, it doesn't exist, and every single relationship takes a lot of work, and every single relationship will bring challenge with it. And if you're gonna put yourself out there as some like relationship guru, then you set yourself up for failure. So I just think personally, just being really honest, it takes work. It's challenging. It's not an easy thing to do. Like, think about where we started from.
Yeah, no, we were quite young actually, weren't we? How old was I? 19, 20?
Yeah, I was like 23, 24, and as you've told me multiple times, you don't mature, and like men don't mature until like
women are way more mature. But
yeah, so you were much more mature at that age, right? But think about like the challenges that we overcame really early on. There was a lot of I guess skepticism about our relationship, whether we were gonna last. When we got married, I was 24, you were 20. There's a lot of
people used to ask, how do you know that's the one? Like, you're so young.
And we'd known each other for like 10 months at that point when we got married. So it was like we jumped into that, and we had an utter belief that we were going to work, we were going to last, and it wasn't to prove anything to anybody. It was more of a case like once you know, and then you pursue that. Like, you just make sure that you're all in. And I think that's one thing that both of us were. We were just very much all in from a very early stage, and then that's what built the kind of confidence between us to kind of grow together.
Like we spoke about it before, you know, if something comes up, you work through it. And I think there's so much on social media these days about, you know, that whole image of a perfect relationship or perfect life, or, you know, other people that have got so much more out there. But I think it's just really being happy in the everyday moments and appreciating the little things. And maybe I'm a little bit old school, but I do just like the simple things sometimes, like just that time together and, you know, and working on things, because that's what makes you stronger as a couple. I mean, we've kind of like grown together as well, haven't we? And had our challenges with like running our own business, working, you know, the kids in between all of that as well. And it's not easy. It's not,
So I think in terms of like, how do you actually build a relationship? I think there's certain fundamental things that you've got. It's like communication has to be there.
Yeah.
I think respect for one another's beings, but also respect for one another's values. And I think this is where people distort this quite a lot. Me and you have got very similar values, but in varying ratios. So it wouldn't work if me and you had the exact same values in the exact same ratios, because we wouldn't get anything done. We'd only be really good in some areas and just completely at zero in others. So for example, my work rate, my work ethic, my focus and my dedication towards a cause that I feel that I'm working towards, and my purpose there, I can go all in on that, and you actually rein me back in when you need me to. Like, when you see that I'm getting and pushing, I'm not actually taking time for myself, you rein me back in. But then family-wise, for example, you are so family-orientated, you will push and just be there for everybody else. And then I've got to rein you in and say, hey, you've got to take some time out for yourself. Like, you can't be at every single kid's party that's coming up, and you can't feel guilty for missing whatever it might be. Like, you can take time for yourself. So I think we have very similar values at different ratios, and it complements one another. And if we were too similar, it just wouldn't work.
I think it's just understanding one another's roles as well sometimes. Just like you said, you know, I know, you know what is important to me, I know what's important to you, and it's just working with that.
And I think with that comes effective communication. I think it's like even boundary setting. Like, you will tell me, like, in fact, I'll just share my one. I said to you the other day, when I come home from work, please don't give me a to-do list like straight away. I need, just give me like 10-15 minutes so I can just wind down, and then you can hit me with oh, you need to do this, or you need to sort this issue out or whatever. But I just need that bit of time. But having that conversation means that you're aware of what's going to make me happy, and then you also know that I am going to be able to be available to talk to you about those different things. But again, like, it's a constant work in progress, because it will slip, and you will say things to me and it will slip. Like, I will still leave my socks out in the living room every now and then.
Yeah.
And
or, you know, when it's your son's birthday and you're talking about work, and I have to say, no work talk today.
Exactly. But I think that's really important. I think also just, you have evolved a lot since we first met. I think your confidence is much greater. Like, you share more, you talk more. Like, you would not have had a social media channel when we first met, and now you've got a good channel where you're actually very open, very honest, very authentic. Yeah. And I think it's just like actually appreciating, respecting each other's growth, and being there to support it.
I think I've got to say though that you've supported me with that. But I was, just from my background before, I was so used to, you know, doing as I was told, and, you know, just from
conforming.
And so it took me a while to kind of break out of that and become my own person. You've really helped me grow in that sense.
And vice versa, I wouldn't be able to spend the time that I do and do the things that I do. And probably it's why I drag you to every single radio interview that I do and all that sort of stuff. It's like that mutual support. But I think just respecting each other's growth is such an important thing. Like, you will not be the same person that you were when we got together, and that's a normal thing, it's a natural thing, it's a good thing, and then vice versa. So I think there's multiple things that you can really pick out on and say, like, this is how you build a powerful relationship, but a powerful relationship, not a perfect relationship.
Yeah.